The detective pushed my rape kit across the table and said, "This isn't enough." Then he slid over a dress, the one I'd worn that night, and asked, "You really expect us to believe you didn't want this?" That's when I realized justice wasn't blind. It was fucking blindfolded. It happened after last call at Murphy's pub. I remember the neon exit sign flickering as he followed me out. Tall, broad shoulders, reeking of peppermint schnapps. I remember his hand clamping over my mouth, the asphalt scraping my knees raw. What I don't remember, choosing the sundress with daisies on it. Because apparently that mattered more than the DNA under my nails or the security footage from the gas station across the street. The police took 12 hours to respond to my report. 12 hours I spent picking threads of his flannel shirt from my teeth. When they finally took me to the hospital, the nurse sighed while swabbing my thighs. "This'll be our third one this week," she muttered, like I was inconveniencing her lunch break. The detective, Detective Lowe, his badge said, watched the entire exam with his arms crossed. He didn't speak until she left. "You got a history with this guy?" he asked. Not "do you know him?" Not "can you describe him?" Just an assumption that I'd asked for it. They found my panties in a dumpster 3 blocks away. Lowe held them up with a pencil at the station, wrinkling his nose. "These look expensive," he said. "You always wear lace to bars?" My lawyer had to restrain me from lunging across the table. The case stalled for weeks, then months. Every meeting with Lowe started the same way. Any new memories come back, like trauma was a fucking Netflix show I could rewind and screenshot. The breaking point came when Lowe called me in to review the file. He'd circled typos in my statement, highlighted the fact I'd had 2 beers, underlined where I said I think he was white in red pen. Inconsistencies, he called them. The DA declined to prosecute. Too much reasonable doubt. That night, I bought my first knife, a 6-inch serrated Kershaw, with a grip that fit perfectly in my palm. I practiced drawing it from my purse until I could do it blindfolded. My roommate laughed when she saw it. "You really think that'll help?" Maybe not. But unlike the police, it wouldn't ask what I was wearing before cutting the bastard who touched me. Then came the twist I never expected. 6 months later, Lowe got arrested. Not for mishandling my case, for sexual battery against a minor. Turns out he'd been interviewing assault victims in his car after hours. The kicker? The DA prosecuted him immediately. No questions about his clothes. No inconsistencies. They even used my abandoned rape kit to establish a pattern. Now I volunteer at the women's shelter on weekends. Teach self-defense. Show survivors how to hold a knife. Last week, a girl no older than 19 asked me if it gets easier. I showed her the scar on my palm where my blade slipped during practice. "No," I said, "but you get sharper." The comments on this video will say I'm paranoid, that I hate men, that carrying a weapon makes me as bad as him. But until the system stops measuring justice in hemlines and drink counts, my Kershaw and I will be waiting.